everybody. Welcome. This is Tuesday, and this is a second look. And welcome. We speak favor over you. We do that every time because that's how we hang here. If you have a need, plant a seed, and you'll never, ever have to ever grieve. So that's the rhyme that goes all the time.
Yep, you got Sky Pilot. I got my
Hey,
pilot.
I got my Sky Pilot. I know I didn't do it yesterday, and
If you don't have a Sky Pilot, you just hug yourself, Kaz.
And
I
Kaz,
just have to hug my crystal.
we're
That's
gonna get
right,
out and
that's
just get
right. Hug
Kaz an old
yourself.
virtual hug. And how you doing, Sky Pilot? You might want to date that. Talk to Trina about that. He's hot on your teddy bear.
I know, right? She's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we got a romance going here. Hey, baby, I just traveled the skies.
right? Yeah.
There we go. You got to have some fun with it. So welcome everybody. David Barry is in the house, and Shannon the Wise, April Fool here. Marsha Price. Gonna get Marsha on. We got to get Marsha on next week. I always like that. Welcome all the moderators. Thank you. And Soul Tribe, welcome. So we're just gonna have some fun this hour. I've asked Kaz because Kaz was going to be on last week, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Kaz, it's so good to see you again.
Hi everyone.
So how's it going over there on the other side of the pond, as they say?
It's as strange as ever. It's luckily, like I say, it doesn't affect me much because of my job. It just stays normal.
Good.
For me.
Yeah.
And I'm on holiday at the minute, so I'm not really seeing much of it. So, yeah.
Cool.
Right on.
Well, Kaz, you got the dragons too,
I got my dragons.
Yeah, it's like that song that goes, wonder where the lions are. And I always think about Kaz, I go, where are those dragons? They're around.
They're here.
They are here. And you said it's hot over there, huh?
It is hot, yeah. It's been lovely all week, but it's been hot. It's too much for me to go out in the day. I just seek shade.
Do you have AC, air conditioning?
I do in the car, but not in the house. My cottage is really cool. It's like, it keeps it nice and chilled in here. It's nice.
Cool. Hey, Lost in Space. David Castle, much love to you, brother. There's Peter. Yeah. Mary Wins, good to see you, hon. Can't cook. Hey, Chloe, good to see you as well. B2W. Trina, could you imagine living in Phoenix without air conditioning?
People die.
I can. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. People die. It's yeah.
What you said today? What 104, 105 there?
It's been up to 121 before.
Wow.
You see, you can't do that. Modern man is not conditioned.
It's so crazy because once it gets like over 110 or 15, it stops cooling down in the nighttime. So it doesn't ever get below 100 degrees because it's just constant heat. So yeah, it's really bad when it gets hot.
My ancestors, we come from the north, we said the hell with this heat, and we headed north. And I like up in Iceland. I've been following the volcano every day. There's a good channel there, Guten Tag, which, I love that name, Guten Tag. It sounds like, how are you doing? Guten Tag. But, it was actually raining there with snow 2 days ago. Yeah. I'm going, honey, I said, I want to go out and Lynn said, there's not a damn tree in sight.
Right.
There are no trees. But then again, yeah.
Wayne.
Yes.
Can I just say happy 7-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Well,
that is just fabulous. Wow.
Who'd have thought? I mean,
wow. Congratulations. That's quite a task.
I know there have been other longer channels, but YouTube today was not the YouTube of yesterday in 2014.
Yeah, it's been quite a transformation, but 7 years, that is wonderful.
Who'd have thought?
Wow.
Yeah.
congratulations. And what a
Thank you.
difference you've made in the world. So thank you for
Well,
doing it.
Trina, you're so kind, and the check is in the mail, and
Yeah, right.
but I never, the intent never was. In fact, let me show you some of my earliest work that I used to. That's all I did was take, pictures of the sky, and
Yeah.
let's see. So there is something touching the back of my head. Seriously, there is. Like,
I just heard Brian. Congratulations.
so I can't do the audio on this, but this is what I used to do. Had a lot of cameras that I just simply took, because in 2014, we knew that something was changing in our solar system. And here in Colorado, there was something about the skies back then. They were a color that I haven't seen in a very long time. And you can see just, this is some of the work.
So beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. It's still mesmerizing when I look at it. But this is what I did day in and day out because I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you see that in Cass, you do a lot of sky photos, and I know, Trina.
I haven't for a while. I focus on my music now.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it
It's
odd?
like, yeah, it's sort of, I put the energy into the sky and that's done. There's nothing more to do there. And now it's gone to my music. Yeah.
Thank you. It's interesting because they say 7 years is a season, right, Trina? I think something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you start out on the journey and, it's much like the pictures I've taken. There is one thing I did find is probably one of the most unusual. It's the only EVP that I have actually captured. And I'll get it out here. I have to do this for a second. Otherwise, all of us will be hearing this terrible feedback. So this took place in April 6th, 2016. I was taking pictures of the sun. And the reason why I was taking pictures of the sun was that the sun was glitching. It was really strange because I had my cameras and I could see it glitching. So I put the infrared lens on and set up my tripod and just started taking pictures of what I thought at the time was, a sun anomaly. It turned out that wasn't quite the case.
Wow.
Here we go. This is my only EVP I've ever captured. And I had a friend when I was on Facebook who had a recording studio. And what he did is that he began to take the layers of this. This is authentic. And you can see the sun's already has a weird effect to it. So I'll quit talking. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. I have no idea what this is. And he's playing it through the different different spectrums. And this is what I'm capturing on, you can see the sun pictures. Is that freaking?
Yeah. Wow.
If there's a place called hell, I think I captured it. Here we go here. And each time he put it through a different filter, he was hearing more and more.
Wow.
He said he's never seen anything like it. See what I'm talking about? It's like different beings you're hearing.
Wow.
Is this strange?
Oh, yes. It's almost like you were able
That's
to
weird.
capture the different layers of dimension.
Yeah, whatever the hell that was. Because I don't know. To this very day, I don't know. So yeah.
Woo.
So yeah.
That was
I love
weird.
the pictures
So
too, Wayne. You got of that eclipse. Those were phenomenal
oh,
pictures.
that now that was some
Oh,
weird,
whoa.
definitely some
Yeah,
weird
I'd
stuff.
never, I was like, wow, Wayne.
Um,
Amazing pictures of that.
Yeah, that was I should pull some of those up. That when that gets, you know, I don't know if people who haven't been with me and all of those that you have and all of those, the new ones, you know, thank you for, you know, being part of this journey. But the eclipse, that was interesting. Actually caught that pyramid that had that portal inside of it. That was some
Unbelievable. Me too. I was like mind blown. I was like,
what?
what?
Exactly.
Whoa.
Exactly. And
Whoa.
I
Yeah.
remember right as I was taking that picture, that's when they have that effect with the eclipse. You have the snakes
Yes.
everywhere, the light's bending, and
Yeah.
it was it was a very bizarre effect. I can tell you, it was disorientating.
Want to talk about weird pictures?
Yes.
I was sleeping one night, and this is when I was battling MRSA. I literally felt like I could possibly die. I was really sick, and I fell asleep one night, and I woke up with like 30 pictures on my phone. You know, because I accidentally fell asleep with the phone in the bed, and I must have hit the photos of how and I was taking pictures all night.
In your
And
sleep?
yeah, this is what showed up over my bed. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh my God.
Well, I have seen those before. Put that back. That is so cool.
That is the picture.
Look at that.
Can you see his face
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and the sword and
Uh-huh.
this plasma thing or something? Like he's trying to get me, and the white underneath it is part of my bed. That's me out
Wow.
sleeping. Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
just,
That
and
is.
out of all these pictures, I don't know why my phone went to camera mode, but I hit like, I was sleeping. And I took all these weird, I was like black and green. I was like all these weird, but then I was like, what? Because it was clear. It was like a dude, you know, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
what is that? It
You
was
can
so
see his
crazy.
face.
Do you feel
Totally.
comfortable with that?
I think I literally, I've asked about this over and over again. I said, could you tell me what this energy is? And I think it is Gabriel. I
Well, you know,
really,
it's interesting because we have the ability to capture the realms. I mean, there's one thing of this channel, what we've bring out is that we coexist in a multi-dimensional environment.
yeah, we do for sure.
Yeah,
And
I
like
mean,
I said, that was it. When I was sleeping, that picture got taken. And that's when I was having a really hard battle in my life. It was just like, for me, it was like confirmation. It's like, we got your
Yeah.
back.
and you
I
don't
was
feel
I
like,
threatened by
that
it,
is
right?
so powerful to know that they got your back. And man, he
Yeah.
had a sword. He was like, don't even think about it. I was like, check that out. That
Protection
is
or what?
phenomenal. Yeah,
You've got a lot of protection, you have, Tina.
I'm like,
You could,
yeah, 'cause I think I get my
you
butt
have.
kicked a lot too.
Yeah.
That is
Like
so
when that thing
interesting.
tried to get you through the windscreen, through the
Oh yeah,
windshield.
I still have a little dot on my forehead from that. But it didn't, it didn't touch me. Yeah,
No.
it hit hard though, hard, like it was weird. That was very weird. Yeah, like I said, you know, we do have, there is protection. This is such a beautiful, like Kaz, you've got your dragons, and there really is this protection. And like I said, it is not about worship. It's about family.
I
And
tell you who comes with the dragons as well, Lilith.
it does. Holy
Lilith
Yeah.
comes, yeah, she's
Yeah.
with the dragons. Would like to say the latest tune I've written, I gifted to Marsha. It's the newest one that's on my channel. And halfway through, I asked for Lilith's help because it wasn't getting where I wanted it to be. So Lilith jumped in with me and helped me finish it.
right
And
on.
it is really good. So if you want to pop and see it on my channel,
Absolutely.
I gifted it to Marsha, and Marsha, bless her, she's going to make me a wand
Oh,
with
Kaz,
the
they're
Hollywood.
so beautiful.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, look at
And
the one she made.
sending me a pyramid with organ.
Oh, that's
Wow, look at
amazing.
that. That is just amazing.
Yeah,
I just got goosebumps all over.
I'm telling you, her wands are so beautiful. And mine was the very first one. So she's really getting good and creative.
Yeah.
I saw a dragon one she did. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's putting the dragons in it.
Oh, it's gonna
Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. Thank you, Marsha. Thank you.
She is, I'll tell you, in this office, there is so much of Marsha's work in here that yeah. It has strong mojo. That's all I can
I
say.
bet.
It's got
That
strong
Sanji just
mojo.
like emanates rainbows
Oh,
out of his head for fun, for
I
Wayne.
tell you, that is still he always rides Sky Pilot here, but yeah, I mean, what's up, Sanj?
Oh, hi,
How y'all doing?
Sanji.
Hi, Sanj.
Yeah, we're going to be celebrating July 3rd for Brian on,
Absolutely.
his graduation party is the way I look at it.
Me too.
Yeah, be over there on Robert V's channel. And and I think the cards are there. So you're going to be getting Marsha's groovy energy, Kaz. And, and
I can't wait.
I like to bring up the aspect too about Lilith. I would say if there's probably one thing that I guess this channel has done that was really ahead of all the others is that we actually reintroduced Lilith back into the system.
Yeah, and expanded what people did. Many people have very little understanding of this entity, and you've expanded their knowledge on what she is from her perspective.
Yeah.
I don't think, not even 1% of 1% of 1% of a fraction of the earth ever had any of that ever.
I never heard of, Lilith in my youth.
I hadn't heard of Lilith till
what was so weird to me? The first time I really connected with that energy was in the Nag Hammadi when I read Thunder. And I literally kept seeing Lilith. And I was like, oh, this is Lilith. This is like her story kind of. She is all of it. She is pain. She is love. She is hunger. She is thirst. She is everything. And I was like, this is profound. And it made
Well, let me tell you some testimonies then. And I have the emails, and I'm not going to bring the individuals. Many of them are in many times in the chat, and there's a couple, but I have emails of people who have asked Lilith to help. I've had one in a situation, the person was losing their home where they were living, and as they wrote, it was like miraculous. Things almost, as they said, almost overnight changed where they got a better place.
Yep.
I've heard another person who asked help for a family member who was dealing with a sickness, and they improved back to almost normal. So it's interesting that with Lilith and Kaz, like you were saying, and who would not know more about creative aspects than the original mother?
Yes.
And that's how I see her.
I see her as so many things. I see her now as the phoenix. The
Now,
one,
Marsha says, Kaz and I had a discussion about Lilith. I felt a connection with her since a young child. The first time I heard about her, even though it was a negative way, the way, yeah, and that's true because the matriarchal world has, they slandered her.
The
yeah. And
slender, yeah,
what if she, in
totally.
essence, is the black sun?
She's a remarkable person. I mean, I've told
Portal.
people when she visited us in our bedroom, we don't sleep in that room anymore. It's we just don't. It's there's an energy in there, and it's a residual energy. But yeah, I mean, we and the dogs. Even when we have family that bring their dogs over, the dogs sense it as well. It's just there's an energy in there.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Never felt threatened. I mean,
Yeah, it's just a presence and energy.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I think, like I said, when you connect with any of these beings, there is a potential for them to leave residual energy. That's true. And when you decide to work with these beings, we also need to be aware of contracts, because when you're working with them, you're implying contract. So just be aware of that, because that's true.
You've got to, and I'm glad you brought this up because the videos of late have really, hello, A Gates, have been, how should we say, causing cognitive dissonance because these beings, the old ones, the ancient ones,
Yes.
they're still here.
Yes.
It's hard for man to think that we've always been on planet Earth. We haven't. We're kind of the new kid on the block. And with Lilith, the thing about before Lilith ever paid me a visit was that, I had to study the Liber Lilith itself. I had to understand who and what this energy is. I
Yeah.
think you're a damn fool if you approach her in a cavalier approach. Would you ladies agree with that statement?
She'll destroy you.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
will flat out
She would.
destroy you.
She'd kick your ass, man.
Thank you. That's actually the word I was really looking for, Cass.
She would
But you're true,
kick your
Trina. I
ass.
mean, it is,
Oh,
she will put a hurting on you. I call it,
Yeah.
she'll take you out to the woodshed, and
oh
next time you
Yeah.
approach her, you'll have a little bit more um, respect for the lady.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolute
yeah,
respect.
yeah.
You think about Kali, on the Hindu side of the equation. And I really look at her as really a representation of Lilith as well.
That's one of the closest I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
mean, if you want to make a representation, I would say that deity, which by the way, isn't it odd that Kali is also the one that when you go to CERN, you go right past her. I mean, the facility was
Yeah.
dedicated to her.
Absolutely. And I
Hmm.
think that's about the feminine goddess, about the potential of the womb, which is the stars,
Mm.
because it's about going into the stars, about going into different dimensions. And the birth and the death and the rebirth. And then the one side is loving and birthing and nurturing. And then the other side is death and destructive and will hand you your bottom. That's kind of like, um, it's so profound because it's everything. She is everything, and that's a potent thing. And I keep seeing that she is the black sun, and her counter, which is the sun of this world, I'm pretty certain would be Lucifer. That would
Yeah,
be
I
her.
mean, it's odd that we're having this conversation because I was meditating as I do in the morning before I go on the show. I just want to calm my spirit mind and see what's going in through the flow. And I was drawn back to all the literature I knew growing up about where origins, beginnings, was that it never left me, even as a very young man back in my 20s, was that in the beginning was darkness.
Yes.
And it has never eluded my mind going, now wait a minute. So if the beginning was darkness and then light came in, which is more the natural? darkness?
I think it's not, I think there's not one that's kind of, I think the God part, to me, beginning, the origin, is the actual mind, to be able to conceive and perceive and think and know. The all of the data point set was there, but it had no screen. It couldn't see itself, it couldn't organize itself, because it was all just,
So you could say like this, Trini, you could say in the beginning was thought, but
yeah,
thought had no manifestation. And when
yeah, because
thought
it couldn't,
began,
yeah, it couldn't
light.
create the image.
I,
So
I
it
can dig that.
created the womb or the blackness so it could project the image into the screen so it could see itself.
So darkness would be defined as the
Reflection of
unlimited
God's thought.
potential.
Yeah,
Pardon?
the reflection of God's
Yeah.
thought, which could
Yeah.
be
Unlimited
anything.
potential.
And yes, 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 yes. So I see that, like, well, in this, at least in this physical galaxy, because this whole galaxy is of physicality and entropy, the whole thing. So in this specific galaxy, I don't think one could, it couldn't exist without that first initial, the light hits the screen and produces the vision. But the thought is always everything, but it couldn't see itself until it created the wisdom, which was the pleroma, which was the darkness. And it was shot forth onto like a screen, and then it could see itself.
All
I
right.
think
So
the first thing it projected was an image of itself.
now that's interesting. You read my mind on that, because I
Yeah.
was just thinking, so we're all three here having this conversation. We're covering thousands of miles and we have the ability of seeing each other's image. But
Yeah.
if it was just in the fact of where we were talking in our normal everyday existence, then, I call up Kaz and we do a three-way with Trina and we pull in the conversation. The thing about our existence is that we can't see ourselves. And it's interesting because if you get into a meditative state, I have always found that the meditation is in a realm that we would call darkness, but I've never seen darkness because there's always emanations of light.
Yeah.
Images.
Am I, Kaz, your songs and how you coordinate that, it has that same essence. I mean, to me, it's like we are amazing creatures. We really are
Yeah.
beings. We're not creature. I guess we are, some of us, but
Yeah.
it fascinates me. And that inner image is Neo found out in the Matrix. When people emerge on the other side, many times they emerge of exactly what their inner image is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you are God. What you think about you project on the screen.
Oh, you're going to get that. Someone wrote me and said, "How dare you call yourself a god?" And I went, "Wait a
It's
minute.
unfortunate,
The
but
book said I was a god. I didn't say that."
no, and even God says you're God. So
I
you
mean,
better
wait
be
a minute.
careful, because he
Don't get
warned
down
you,
on my shit just
right? And
because,
God warned you. Yeah, the ability to think and perceive the image. That is power, that
Oh,
you're a creator, because you actually, okay, if I say apple, did you guys just see APP? App? You didn't see the word. You saw an apple
I
in
I
your
said a
saw
mind,
red
apple.
delicious. I saw a
correct?
red
Yeah.
delicious or a
Right.
Gala.
See,
Yeah,
so
that's what,
that is
and
the
I'm eating it
power.
right now, and it's damn
Right.
good. It's really
That's the
moist.
Trinity. The
Mhm.
Father sends the thought, the Mother produces the image, and the Son brings it together with the Word. So this is how we are gods together, because when we can understand each other with language, we can shoot images at each other's consciousness, and it gives us the ability to build the reality as one.
Mm.
The Word is the connection of the Trinity of matter. It's because it's the idea hits the screen and then you can see it, but the concept was brought forth through speaking or communicating it to the world. This is why abracadabra, what I say, I create, because your words make images.
Well, and how I was brought up, I go back to the book of Isaiah. It says that every word that proceedeth from my mouth shall not return unto me void, but it shall prosper in the thing for which I have sent it forth to do.
I love that.
Boom, baby.
I
So
love that.
and that is so ingrained into my conscious awareness, because I'm very careful about what I speak. Now, when I get angry, it's amazing, because I have found that when you use cursive words, is that it's like this flushing thing, and then you go, oh yeah, okay, I'm going on my way. But anyway, the words are very important, and they create.
Yes, that
Yeah.
is why they say, I sent you forth the word.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Mm-hmm.
because and then the Tower of Babel confused our language. Ruh-roh.
That
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 was,
that that was a rape on the
that's what I'm
collective
saying.
consciousness of
Yes.
humanity. I
You
mean,
take away that and you make
yeah.
people not be able to communicate. That's when they stop creating at a very high, it's been just reduced. It's not gone, but it's reduced because we still communicate telepathically too, through dreams, images.
So Drina and Kaz, I'm curious to get both of y'all's opinion on H.P. Lovecraft's when he traveled into the realms that he ventured in. I don't know if you saw yesterday's show, but the artist renditions of and many of them what he drew.
Mhm.
What is your perspective on that? Is that
Yeah.
just what you would say would be in Fantasia in one's person's dark night of the soul, or is this potentially the realm that, as he said, these ancient ones actually dwell in?
I think that's probably exactly what it is. And I think that's just their form over time because they don't self-generate. So they're constantly feeding and genetics are mutating because what you eat, you become. I see it's a weird thing
I
like
like
that.
that one. What you
Yeah.
eat, you become. I like
Yeah.
that.
So like
Yeah.
a lot of the alien species that we see now, I've been shown multiple times that those are a lot of future humans because they've lost the spark and they want
Kaz, what is
to
your
stay alive.
perspective?
Well, what you were showing me, those pictures, I've seen in my reality, in when I've been doing my filming, when I used to film a blanket with the orbs, and you see the orbs shoot across the bed. Sometimes when I sit the camera straight and leave it, those sort of beings would come out in the fur of the blanket and merge. And that's what I'd see, because it's always moving, they're always merging in and out of each other. And then some of them were out of a horror movie, but I had to learn not to judge what they look like. It's like they might, like you say, they might think we're ugly.
Yes.
Someone wrote me in an email, said yesterday when I described the woman and that creature that was in front of her, and she said, when you wrote that, she says, my perspective immediately changed. She says it was almost like she had tamed a tiger,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the tiger was completely empathic with her.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
And she
doesn't
said, you
matter
took my
what
fear away.
yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of
Yeah.
form it's holding. When you truly understand the concept that you are God, you need to understand that
Ooh.
pretty much anything that has a soul, and that can be so beyond our comprehension, what does actually possess a soul? Because a lot of organic beings of all different shapes, sizes, planets, universes, they're
Yeah.
all organic. So they would all encompass soul. If you understand that that is the part of us in this system, is the part of the consciousness that's coming through all of us. It's the same thing as like God seeing the image and it's connected by the word. They're all connected by their sounds, their communication. So it's all the same process happening on multiple levels. That's why when you start to understand that we all have the same soul, but we're all experiencing different perceptions and different forms of this creative force, you can start to understand not to fear and feel what it is. Don't let your vision
Yeah.
Mm.
destroy what it
Feel.
truly is. You need to feel what it is and know that You're very powerful, so there's not much that can threaten you if you believe that, because the power that you do hold is very strong.
My wife
I
is,
had
go ahead,
these.
Kaz.
Sorry.
No, go ahead,
I've,
hon.
I've got these pictures of something that was on my bed that went off the side of the bed and underneath, but that I caught on camera, but I didn't have a clue what it was. I didn't actually see it till weeks later. I mean, I can pull these pictures up if you want. It's actually something that was imitating the blanket, and you can clearly see it's not. And it goes over the side of the bed and down.
Yeah.
And I've captured it. And do you want me to pull it up?
Do you have the pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and
I'll
share
just
it.
pull it up first. I'll
Yeah.
wait until I've got it ready, and then I'll share my screen.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
Yeah.
So have you felt threatened by any of these? I mean, these, you know, when they're here, they're all around. And in fact, I can tell you, I was down the basement yesterday and coming back up the stairs, and I saw a shadow more than my own. And I was really, and I was actually talking to someone on the phone when it happened, and I immediately turned around and addressed the issue. I couldn't see it when you turn around because those shadow figures,
They move.
they don't, yeah, they move very quickly. Now I told that Yahoo to get his ass out because, you know, I hadn't invited him, and I said, you know, if you violate my space, when I transition, I shall violate your space.
Yeah.
Now I woke up this morning to a figure that was sitting over on our sitting couch that we have. Very interesting. It was so, and then I'm hearing other people getting the same thing, that there's more and more activity.
I think something's going on with that.
Yeah. Do you sense that as well on your end, Kaz? Because, you know, again, I think many of us are so empathic that we pull these beings to us.
They see you. They see you.
I see shadow people at the corner of my eye all the time.
Bingo. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
they're starting to get clearer. Have you guys noticed that?
I have to say that was the first time I actually saw a shadow figure that actually was very interesting, because it was directly into my peripheral vision. It was right there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. See, I've been seeing them a long time. I've always been able to see that out of when I was a kid. So, but now
Teresa says,
like,
thank goodness none of them have ever visited my house.
You just don't know.
There you go.
You don't know, yeah.
And Marsha says, they're here.
Right.
I mean,
but I think something's happening with the frequencies.
I think the portals are, I think there is portals upon portals that are opening.
I do too. I do too. I
think it's manifesting. I think the energies are getting more intense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it.
You found it? Good, hon.
Yeah.
You have
control. Shall I share my screen?
Yeah, help yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We are rather proper here. I mean, you know, chivalry is not dead.
Thank God.
Right.
Exactly.
You see that?
Now you see, yes, look at that.
That's so weird.
This, you can clearly see it's not part of my blanket, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
And let me just move your heads out of the way. There. It's going off and down over my blanket.
Now, see, for ladies, I really want to know, does this bother you when you see this, Kaz, or does this, you know?
No, in the beginning, when I first saw it, I was overwhelmed because I thought, how come I didn't see it at the time? Because I would have seen that. But it's only the phone that would pick it up. My eyes couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there wasn't maybe a few days of, so what was it doing? Where was it going? Why was it there? And I got Patrick to connect with it.
What did he sense? What did he get?
He said he connected with Source and said it was something from another dimension.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, I didn't have the fear feeling. It was just what is it?
Right.
You know, can I say
Not
this about
knowing.
what I am finding out about the other realms? They're all sexual perverts because they all seem to be voyeurs, you know? What's
Yeah.
up with this? I mean, are we looking in on their world? Are we looking in on them? No, but they're obviously looking in on us. I'm just saying, I digress. Continue, Kaz.
It was weird. It's just weird. Look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's coming out of my blanket and it's going over the side. So I wonder what was below there. That was what makes me. And you see all the energy on the floor. That was the carpet. It was just bizarre. See, look, there's my bed, and there it goes over.
It almost feels to me like bird energy, which is weird, almost like Thoth. It's really weird energy. I'm picking up on it.
Yeah.
Like it feels kind of dragon Thothy bird energy.
Oh, this is the video that it's from.
I wonder if it's dragon energy.
If there's anyone that I know that definitely has the dragons around them, it's you, Kaz. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, this was the actual video, and you can see it's here.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took screenshots from the video. But yeah, it was strange.
You know, and that just, you know, it's again, it's that validation, friend or foe. I don't know. You know,
that's the view from behind.
Look at that.
Yeah, this is it. Is it friend or foe?
I can totally see a face, 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, a perfect face.
Yeah, here.
Big one. Yeah, big face. Huge, big face.
Oh, the bigger, this one. Yeah. There's loads of faces in there, man.
Yeah, big face.
Oh, it is.
So everyone in the chat room and when you watch the video replay, tell us what you think about this. Would you feel comfortable having this in your bedroom? And Kaz, you're a single woman, right?
I'm a single woman, yeah.
Yeah.
This was at my mum and dad's when I lived there. I don't live there now, obviously. Oh, I stopped sharing. So
was this a place where you grew up as a?
I did grow up, yeah, but I left obviously when I was about 17.
Yeah, but that. You see, I'm convinced that people like us, the people that are highly psychic, intuitive, creative, you know, we where we grow up, the walls themselves are saturated with that energy that most of us were not even aware of. Now, Trina, I know that you were very aware of it. Many others were, many of us, but the vast majority of the people out there are completely clueless. You know, it's like,
Yeah. Do you know what it reminds me of, in a way? You remember that the photo you showed us, Wayne, of that energy of your house?
You know, it's odd that you say that, Kaz. Let me pull that up. I got an email from someone who said, you should be very afraid. That's the most horrible thing I've ever seen. And
I see the opposite.
I thought it was rather cool. You know?
I thought it was just beautiful.
I mean, she was like, oh, no. And I went,
the energy in it was mind-blowing.
That's cool. Let me pull this up.
The queen of the mother of heaven energy to me.
Yeah.
Held the stars inside of it. It felt
it was
protective.
That's how I was seeing it. It was full of
I love that.
Beauty.
You know,
yeah.
I wish that we all lived closer because we'd have a great time having tea and coffee together. But there it is.
I'd love it.
I mean, seriously. I mean, and it would be this huge cafe because I don't think many of us would leave. But there is.
Can you imagine the energy when we're together? It'd be amazing.
I really do see it's like a pyramid.
Yeah,
PowerPoint. I mean, that's a PowerPoint. That's geometry of power.
Look at the way it's like blurred around the edges. It's so much energy coming off it.
The light, the light comes out of the darkness. I can totally.
And that's how my blanket goes when I film it. It's that similar sort of
That
Yeah,
is
here
texture.
it
You know
is.
what
I
I mean?
mean, it had an
Texture.
energy off of it that one guy wrote me. He said, "This is exactly what they pick up in, these energy anomalies." And he said,
Yeah,
this thing was
I've
huge.
seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen it many times.
And yeah.
It's amazing.
So there, and then it has these orbs that are, yeah, I don't
all
know
in
Yeah,
what the,
all in yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that is such a crazy, beautiful picture. It's
it's
so,
amazing.
so good.
yeah, well, it's a big one. That's
It's
all
It's a
I
a
got.
big one.
biggie. Mine's only little.
I mean, and
Well,
people said,
remember, Wayne, when I would go up into the heavens and talk with the Lord, he would show me like this being grabbed the earth in its hand like it was a little
ooh,
marble,
I
like it
could
was a
see.
marble. So obviously there are very, very big forces, very, very, very big forces, very big.
I think they are. I mean, it's but in our minds can't perceive that, you know.
No, not until
Oh
you,
no, no. Giants used to walk the earth. That's poppycock, you
yeah, but
know.
there's skeletons all over left in the dirt.
Yeah,
Dragons and giants.
yeah. It's like, quit being so
Dragons
cheeky.
flying, giants flying dragons.
Well, in dragons, listen, who is it? Mud Fossil University. Who is our who
Yeah.
Roger.
is it Paul? What is the gentleman's name?
Roger.
Roger. Thank you.
Roger.
Go over his channel. I mean, that
He's
one that's there,
awesome.
what is it? Is in the Mediterranean, that area that they measured what,
In
over
Morocco.
1,000? How big was that thing?
Morocco, yeah.
It was
It's
what,
2000. Yeah, it's
it's like
huge.
2,000 miles. Is that right? I don't want to say it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
thousands of miles.
yeah. Length is like.
You know,
Wow.
the
Imagine
the
riding on that.
Roger, we love what you do, man. I mean,
You
it's
imagine
crazy.
a 2,000-mile dragon flying in the sky. Wow.
Wow.
The book of Enoch, it says that the Nephilim, the first generation of the hybrids, that and I've checked this out, said that they were 4,500 cubits tall. 4,500 cubits would make a creature, well over a mile and a half tall.
I was gonna say like 12,000. Oh my.
Yeah, it's huge. Yes.
That's
A cubit
huge.
is
Yeah.
you have a royal cubit, but it's typically 9 inches, or you can do the one that goes from the arm, and I think that's 18. But anyway, I may be wrong on the
And
exact numbers, but
the trees they used to go out the top of the atmosphere then as well, didn't they?
and we, Trina, you and I were talking, Kaz, as you were logging on, was that the volcano up in Iceland is now evidence that the Earth is in fact expanding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so I don't know, would the density of the atmosphere continue as the Earth got bigger? I mean, it seemed to me that there would be a lower density. I don't know.
Mm.
Marsha said Roger leaves no doubt about the giants. We are
Oh,
on
Yeah.
top of
I
their
was gonna
corpses. We
do.
are. Yeah.
What do you think, Wayne? The magnetic field. What do you think is gonna happen to the gravity and the magnetic
Can I
field?
be very candid with
Yeah.
you on that one?
Yeah.
I don't talk a lot because Ben Davidson is, the guy that I really look at, but there's another one, Maverick. There's another site, but we're in the magnetic shift right now. And
Huh?
I think in the next couple of years, it continues the way, we're going to start seeing some weird stuff.
I think so too. But what do you think would be the effect of the magnetic field if the Earth expands? Do you think it would get denser? Or do you
I
think it
think
would
it'd get
get lighter?
weaker. I think it
I
would
do
get,
too.
I think
And
it'd get weaker.
that would be phenomenal because that would match the frequencies of, of going closer to light bodies.
Mhm.
That would be cool. Oh, rock and roll.
One thing that we know for sure is that our DNA is being right now, as the more cosmic rays come in, it's altering our DNA. I mean,
Yeah.
the future generations, once my generation leaves, the boomers, yeah, they got some real challenges ahead.
Yeah.
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 Though, I keep seeing that's totally true, but I also see the power of the mother nature codes and the power of Father sending her the information and she's manifesting it, like, right, like instantaneously.
Well, I
Yeah,
can't help, we're family. I do believe that. I
yeah.
don't believe that the earth can continue in its current state. I think
No,
we're
I think
heading
we're
for
gonna change.
something.
No, it needs something.
It says that if the collective consciousness of man, and it's been defined that we do have a collective conscious. Do you know the first measurable impact that they recorded that we do have a collective consciousness? 9/11.
I heard that. That's
Yeah,
Yes.
phenomenal.
Yes.
yeah,
So that tells me something that we're missing something here.
Yeah, and you know what was so profound about that too was they thought that the measurement on the frequency was going to be one of rage and revenge, and it blew their mind because it set in as the opposite that they thought. It was one of compassion and empathy and
Thank
utter
you.
shock.
And it was measurable around the world.
Wayne, I think
yeah.
that was
That just gives me goosebumps, because that tells
I
me the potential that we hold
Well, I think
together.
that actually saved us for so many
Oh,
doomsday timelines. That one moment when we chose, instead of anger and retaliation, we literally felt, oh my God, compassion. And oh no, we felt such compassion. That was when we tipped the scale. It was at that moment humanity did something that they never thought would be done. They triggered us with fear, and instead of wanting to fight back, we all fell into a state of compassion and love. And that was the tipping point. We did something monumental.
what if we were on trial? I mean, and in many of the books that we read about the Galactic Council and what have you, that humanity has been on trial. And these trials last for thousands of years. They're not just simply a 1 day or 1 week event. What if, Trina, and when you said it triggered the thought, what if that was the one thing that the other species saw about us that gave us hope?
That's what I asked the Lord. I said, why is this? Why don't you just wipe us all out? Just get it over with already.
Like
And
the
that's what
sons of
he
bitches
said.
way.
That's what he said. It was going to be done. He said, but we saw the potential of the creation of what was called the earth angel, which would understand polarity at such a feeling level, because we were actually part of the feeling experience as incarnated humans, that you would become what would be known as the earth angels, because an angle of light is what creates your body. So the angels or angles is what creates any incarnation. It comes through the light. It's an
By the
angle
way,
of light.
the other day, one of the I call them the cloud Siths,
Uh-huh.
was over the house. Brought
Yeah.
Lynn out. We got a pictures of it. The quite spectacular.
Wow.
This
What was that,
creature.
Wayne?
It reminded me of much of what you see, Kaz, with your dragons. This one here was in the form of what we would typically call an angelic type of a being, except it's up in the clouds, what makes it
Yeah,
basically like 5-10 miles across. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like, oh,
Wow.
hi, how you doing?
they're
Peace,
big,
man.
aren't they?
Would you like to have
You
some
feel like
coffee?
this,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
this big.
It's like, how
I
you
get it.
doing? But I'm convinced, and I know it's just, maybe it's people think it's eccentric, but I believe that there are life forms that are up in the firmament.
Oh, I totally
I believe the clouds have consciousness.
Well,
Like you
Kaz, when
said,
you caught that dragon, and that's the only thing I blew the thing up. I sent you the pictures back. That
yeah,
was a bona fide flying creature. I don't mean,
absolutely.
yeah.
yeah. I mean, what do you want to call it? It's like, all right, Steiger, I don't think that was a dragon. Then what do you call it?
Whatever it was,
Unidentified flying
it was,
dragon.
and it was
It damn
organic.
sure was no bird.
Yeah, and it wasn't no spaceship, and it wasn't no.
Exactly.
No,
That thing was moving and oh yeah, no way.
Ooh,
it was not.
yeah.
It was identified flying dragon.
Yep.
Ooh, I
Identified
like that.
flying dragon. I
Yes,
love
yes.
it. The
You know,
IFB, identified
Yeah.
flying dragon.
and I have told the story about you, Kaz. I said, yes, there is a beautiful soul over in England. I said, and the dragons love her. And I said, I would pity the poor fool who would ever try to think to cross her. You know, you know, what
Bring it
happened to him?
on.
He was here, not anymore.
Yep.
No, I call upon them every night
You
for
do?
protection
Yeah.
with Lilith. They come and watch over me every night, Lilith and the dragons.
See, I love this whole thing that with Lilith. I've gotten, by the way, some very nasty emails, and they're primarily from the Christian's point of view that I am the Antichrist or the seed of Satan himself.
Crazy.
You know, it's like, you know, some guy wrote me and said, "How dare you bring this vile creature to the consciousness of anybody?" And I wrote him back. I
What?
said, "Well, that's exactly what she said about you."
I was going to say, how dare you talk about your mother that
Yeah,
way?
it's like, you know, you
Yeah.
talk to your mama with that mouth, you
I was
know,
going to say, there's
Wow.
going to be some hell to pay for that.
and I
She's
have
gonna
to
kick ass.
exactly. And I have never, I have never felt any fear. You know who I did feel fear about
Mhm.
was the Christian God.
Absolutely.
I lived my life. Sometimes I get so frustrated, 40 freaking years I lived under this construct of the whack-a-mole God. And when
Yep.
bad shit would happen in my life, it was because then I would simply begin to condemn myself and say, well, I must be unworthy. I must have sinned somehow. And, it just becomes this vicious circle.
It's a trap.
It is a freaking
Yes.
trap. It's like the
Trap.
rat said, forget the cheese. Just get me the hell
Yeah.
out of the trap,
Yep. False
Yeah.
evidence appearing real based on a false belief.
Man.
Dang.
Yeah, I was like,
Ouch. And we all have it in
oh,
so many false beliefs that we have to unwind and unravel and go through, and it's a mess.
it's like going through, rehab, and no matter what your rehab is, when I ran my company, we'd have HR programs for employees that would violate the rules and you put them through programs. But the point is that it's taking me, it's been painful too. The years to get out of that, Trina. It's just sucks.
You know what?
Mhm.
I
I
think
would
for
agree.
sorry.
No, Kaz, you go.
I think, I feel for people like you guys that are really indoctrinated with it, because I never really studied the Bible ever, so it's not been too bad for me. But the it's worse than rehab for you guys. It's worse than an addiction, a full-on addiction.
Mhm.
I
Mm-hmm.
believe that you've had
Yeah.
to go through
Mhm.
to get out of,
Yeah.
because it's like in here, it's in the heart. Your
And
faith.
it affects every aspect of your life, your relationships, your inner view of yourself. And, that's why I believe that you have such high rates of divorce, is that because you've got two people who have been indoctrinated in this thinking that you begin to do the self-condemnation.
Yes.
And then it's the other person's fault for not recognizing what you can't even define what you're actually feeling other than betrayal and, yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a reversal that has to happen.
Mm,
It's
mm,
we
mm.
need to start to understand that we are the vision from God. We are the vision of God, and you are manifested in that expression as an image sent from God, and you have a part of God in you that images here in this reality. So as a child of that magical image making creation machine, you are a micro of that macro. And when
Yeah,
you can
true.
start to understand that, you can start to break the spell and start to understand how vitally important it is to babysit your thoughts and your emotions, and understand you will be held accountable, because as a creator, you will be held accountable. But nobody is going to hold you accountable other than you, because the
Yeah.
wisdom you have inside of you will determine whether or not you felt you did a good job. But this can never be based upon any teaching from anyone. This has to come from within you, which is the true connection to source.
Well, what got me through it was when you begin to do the analysis of what perfect and imperfect is.
Yeah, there is.
And the judgment is if I'm being judged, what I'm being judged on. Am I being judged because I'm imperfect? Well, if I was anything but imperfect, would then make me a fraud. If I tried to become perfect, I would be altering what my natural state is. Now, if you're saying that I was perfect, then that is technically imperfect in the fact that I could never be imperfect if I was perfect to begin with.
Absolutely. I love that because that's truth.
All right.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's when you've seen both sides of that scale and you know that it's
Yeah.
impossible to obtain either or. So you have wisdom of both and you've adopted the middle path and you're like, no, I don't think either one of them are going to work out. So I'm going in my own direction. That's when you win. That's when you win because you're humble enough to know that you're still stupid, but yet wise enough to know that you're smart enough to understand that you don't know everything. And it's a beautiful thing to understand. None of it is right and none of it is wrong. And that is true unity when you understand all of it is consciousness trying to have a better understanding of its own self. And we're a part of that.
I kind of look like this. Every wise person started out as a fool person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone says you're such a fool. And I said, that's true. I started out that way because, hey, listen, I'm still learning. Well, this has been an hour that's gone by like that.
It has.
It's scary to think now, oh, that's
Always
great.
does.
Feels
I mean,
like 20
seriously, I
minutes.
thought this has only been like 15 minutes and I
That's
looked up.
felt like 20 minutes to me. I'm like, no
Yeah.
way. I really
Yeah.
felt like 20
I went,
minutes.
what happened
What's
here?
going on with time?
Well, I believe that time is speeding up, and we know that's a fact because the Earth is in fact slowing down, and which causes us to, anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know this holiday's gone quick. Back at work this week.
Yeah. I mean, do you know that technically, we're almost halfway through the year?
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
happened?
I
How
don't
did
know.
that happen? Crazy.
Yeah.
Before you know it, we're getting a winter woolies back on.
Well, folks, I just want to say thank y'all. Oh, so many of y'all. Y'all are just so beautiful. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to go to both of our beautiful soul sisters here. I like that. Soul sister. Yeah, I like that.
Some
We could actually get
sisters.
sick about a heat wave. But anyway, thank you. Go and subscribe to their channels. I mean, come on, folks. This is what it's about. Yeah, tell them, Kaz.
Go and listen to some good music. Swinging pants.
We got
Kaz's channel is Kaz Hawk.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
spell it
Link
out,
down
Kaz.
below.
It's what it's written there. CAZHAWKE.
Yep.
Kaz
Link
Hawk.
is down below. Make sure to go over there. Hey, Deborah Truux, what's happening? Treat people as if they are what they ought to be, and you help them to become what they are capable of being. Deborah, much love to you, hon. That is like, that's exactly it.
That's it.
Teresa Deanton says, soul sisters.
Soul sisters.
Hey, listen, I kind of figure it's like us, the males in this soul tribe group. We are very, very much in a bliss state because the feminine energy that is available through this tribe to any male, and I think even for many females who are becoming orientated back to what is the divine feminine.
Yeah.
I love Jenny and the work that she does over there and bringing that out as well. So, and Kaz, you and Jenny ought to get together. Y'all are just right there in the same neighborhood. So,
I am gonna plan a visit one day on Jen if she's up for it.
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean,
I love her spirit.
Yeah. So if you're listening, Jen.
So I think us guys, we really, just to say to you ladies, I think many of us get the better part of the deal on this. But anyway,
I don't know. I beg to differ. I see some of you men, and I'm just in awe with the power that you have brought back to the earth with the divine feminine. You, David Barry, David Castle. There's just so many. LaSone. There's just so many. Brian, before he left us, there's just so many. And I mean, a lot of the strong, you know, people on YouTube that are trying to get out messages and stuff, a lot of those are male, and we couldn't do this without you guys.
Well, I know Brian's spirit is strong here, and
Yeah.
you know, I know that I can see that rascal smile still, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, miss you, Brian, you rascal. All
Me
right.
too.
All right, ladies, stay with me here. Much love to y'all, and
Much love.
we will see y'all tomorrow. And make sure again to check out the ladies for sure. All right, folks. Thank y'all. We'll talk to you soon.